Music Access. A few days ago, I was watching a talk show on TV and the host asked this question to the audience. What do you think is the difference between people who are close and people who are friends? And what do you think is a real friend? A lot of answers came from the crowd, and out of the audience there was an interview with a wife who was taking care of her sick husband and their son. For the husband, a real friend was someone who he could open up and talk about everything in his life. His real friends were his wife and son. He said that it's hard to know when you're with them all the time, but when they're not there, you feel like half of you is missing. No, you think he's a great husband, and that was a well-put answer. What about you guys? What does a real friend mean for you? And is there someone that comes to mind when you think of a real friend? The first song you heard today, Saturday, September 12th, 2015, was Open Your Eyes by John Legend. And we're about to start the Saturday edition of Music Access right now in our Saturday corner, My Text and Message, which is all about you. We're going to read your messages and listen to your song requests for the next 2 hours. Also, our special Corner and Corner My Text message during the first hour of our Saturday show will, as always, be especially reserved for your text or SNS message. So, send me a text or SNS message that was the most memorable for you, and I'll introduce it during that time. The reason why we're separating this corner is because, the messages that were memorable for you may also strike a chord with our other listeners as well. So, send in those messages that you remember, short or long. You can send in the message itself, or you can also tell us about how you got the message or why you sent the message as well. We'll introduce those text messages briefly before moving on to your other messages and letters for my message, which will go on during the rest of the show. My text message will be short and special, and all of the other messages that we receive will be introduced during my message all the way up to the end of the second hour. Now, of course, here's how you can listen and participate on Music Access. You can download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone, and you can also send us messages through the app using the comment function. You can also listen to us by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess, and leave your messages there on our message board. Another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. And remember, if you have any song requests for some super awesome quadriphalic songs, go ahead and post up those requests on our message board under the title Request. Now, before we dive straight into my text and message, let's check out 2 songs. The first song is Call My Name by Cheryl Cole, followed by Cheerleader by Omi. Reading your messages again and again, reading through the messages I sent again and again. The messages I wait for, the messages that make me laugh, the messages that are precious to me. My text message. Which messages were the ones that were the most memorable to you from the week gone by? The messages that you keep are the words from the person you want to keep close. And if you remember the messages that you sent, you probably spent some time thinking about it before sending it. Our special Corner in Corner for Saturdays, My Text Message, is all about sharing the social media or text message that was the most memorable to you from the week gone by. It could be a message that made you happy, angry, LOL, or a message that made you kind of frustrated. Just let us know which message was the most memorable and share with us some of the messages you keep saved in your mobile device and why. So right for this corner, just write my text on your message. And our first text message comes from Momo from the USA saying, I recently came out to my mom. It's something that had been on my mind for so long, but I just couldn't find the words to tell her, so I drew out a comic and texted it to her. My mom replied to me very loving, caring, and told me that she wants to support me no matter what I choose to do. I cried because of how touched I was. I really love my mom, and it's times like this you realize how much your parents mean to you. I think that's super, super true. Coming out to your parents is a very, very big decision, and it's something that, it can be a very difficult thing to do, something that's very private and you don't know how they're going to react. But, just personally from my experience, I have friends who have also come out to their parents, and I think, a lot of that is also trust and love, because coming out, you trust and that they'll love you no matter how you are. And, in your situation, it's very great, that, your mom comes out and she's like, yo, you did a good job, I'm very proud of you, and she still loves you and cares for you, and, it's parents, it's parental love, What are you going to do? It's one of those unbreakable bonds, and I think it's really interesting that you drew a comic and you texted it. I'm really interested, I'm curious to know what kind of comic you drew, because when it comes to something like this, it must not have been, a normal comic. There must have been something there. So, the storyline, share your stories, guys. If you have any other similar stories like this as well, I'm pretty sure we all have, either whether it's personal experience or, a friend who went through the same experience. I really feel good when I read a story like this, because, we're in a generation where, coming out is more and more celebrated, and the kind of the freedom and all that stuff, and it's just awesome. Alright, so before we move on, we're going to check out two songs. The first song is Letter to the Lord by Irma, and then we'll follow with the song Ribbon Kim of Thailand requested Slow Motion by Trey Songz. Wow, we just heard Letter to the Lord by Irma, followed by Slow Motion by Trey Songz. One of my personal awesome favorite songs. It's cool, chill. And I hope to see a lot more of your text messages from my text message. Continue writing in about the messages that moved you, made you smile, laugh, or a message about confessing. We definitely have a lot of those. So, remember, you can send in the message itself or tell me about the situation and how you sent the message, and or why you sent it. Remember, it can be a text you sent or received, and it doesn't have to be text. It can be an SNS message as well. So remember to write my text on your title before you post up your messages, and I'll introduce them the best I can during this time every week. And now, starting now until the end of our second hour, we're going to take a look at what our MA family members want to talk about and all that jazz here on my message. Remember, this is all about you guys, so make sure to send, and I'll read, and talk. And our first message for my message today comes from Sapphire from the USA, saying, Hey Benji, Sapphire here, hey, LOL, hopefully your day is going well and is exciting. I just got done making a chocolate banana cream pie cupcake, and wow. And for today, I'd like to share a quote I found. You got your own style now, let it come through, and remember, no matter what, you got to be you. A quote by Sebastian. So, have a great day, and remember to always be you. Let yourself shine. Well, if I'm going to let myself shine, then okay, we'll go there. I really want to try a chocolate banana cream pie cupcake. Back when I went to school in, when I was in college, there was a really awesome bakery around the corner that sold awesome banana cream pudding. That had, bits of cake in it, real bananas. It was super awesome. You ate it in a cup. And, wow, it's super good. And just reading about your chocolate banana cream pie cupcakes has given me a craving. And it's got my sweet tooth buzzing, which means I need to probably go to the dentist and check out those cavities. Because, oral hygiene is extremely, exceedingly important. Alright, now, before we continue on, this is not working out today. I can't do the GD thing. Anyways, we're going to check out two more songs. The first song is The Tide is High by Atomic Kitten, followed by the song Kidding Hair of Thailand requested Miss You Like Crazy by The Muffets. We just heard The Tide is High by Atomic Kitten, followed by Miss You Like Crazy by The Muffets. And now it's time to continue on with our next message, which comes from Toati Fariel from Algeria saying, Annyeong Haseo Benji. I hope you're doing well. I'm so tired these days. Because I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning. Why, you ask? It's because school started. I don't want to go to school so early, but it's because they put me in a class with only excellent students, so I have to work hard. Anyways, just wish me luck. I totally get what that's like. When I was younger, it was funny because elementary school starts at, I think, 9. Then junior high for me started at 8. And then high school for me started at 7:10. So as my schooling went up, my waking up times also went up, or rather earlier. And at first it was hard to adjust because, elementary school, 9 o'clock is pretty early. And then going to 8 o'clock, you get to the transition for that. Then 7:10 a.m., guys, that's really early, My parents, they call it what do they call it? My parents and I usually my parents go to work before I did. And then, but we got to the point where, we'd get up at the same time. And then, I'd go to catch the bus. But the great thing about that was, I don't know whether all schools are like this, but we went 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., then as it went from 8 to 2:30. Then high school was 7:10, but we got out at 1:40, which means we had the entire rest of the day. So, as other kids were playing around, doing fun stuff, you know what I did? I went home and I practiced the violin. That's right, I practiced, I worked hard, I stayed on that grind, of course, and it kind of, I got to college somehow, which was pretty awesome. But yeah, I think definitely, I know that it's hard, especially when you go to school, but think of it as real world training. Although, no, granted, I don't think I wake up at 6 a.m. anymore. Well, no, I wake up at 6 a.m. now because of schedule. So, yeah, this is a different story. The important thing is, it's all for education. So I understand it's super, super tiring, but stick with it just a little bit. And you are in a class with a lot of good kids, so become number one in that class, and you can brag about it to all your friends. High school, way back when, they called me number one. They called me Ace. Why'd they call you Ace? Because I look like the Ace of Spades. What? Alright, now, before we continue on, we're going to check out 2 more songs. The first song is a song that Samantha of Australia wants to hear, Bubble Pop by Hyuna, followed by the song Rebecca of Brazil wanted to hear, Idol Hagishira by Vix. And now, continuing on with our program, we just heard Bubble Bubble Pop Pop by Hyuna, followed by Idol Hagishira by Vix. My first time hearing that song, but that title made me think. I don't want to be an idol is the translated title, sung by an idol group. And it's very interesting, the songs. And anyways, of course, different songs have different messages. If you check out our songs, of course, we have also very interesting messages as well. Talking about how our internet's the fastest. We're talking about good foods in Korea. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff, yeah. Alright, now continuing on, we're going to check out our next message, which comes from Joshua Montel from the Netherlands. I'm going to read this in a rap style. Yo, oh, he didn't say yo, he said hi. Hi, DJ Benji, first time listener to your show. I'm here by Unita's recommendation. Shout out to Unita, Sophie, Siska, Rusi, Leon, Marine, Ashley, and Jenny. Thank you, Benji. Yo, I just read the message in a rap style, and I keep the rhythm going all the while, yeah. Sipping on a coffee, yeah, with Aunt Sophie. That still rhymes, but I don't know why. I'm not the best rapper. But no, for real, though. Thank you for tuning into our show. Our show? My show? Our show? Our show. Because it is an MA family show. And it's super awesome, We do a lot of songs that, we want to listen to. And, of course, there's songs that, we can't play on the air because, there's certain regulations and restrictions. Sorry about that. But definitely, continue put up some recommendations. We put up as many as we can, whether it's pop, whether it's K-pop, any kind of song you want. And of course, shout out, I will personally again shout out to Unita, Sophie, Siska, Rusi, Liam, Marine, Ashley, and Jenny. Thank you for always tuning into Music Access, supporting the show, and putting up song requests. I know I see all your names in the song requests. I'm like, oh, so we like the same song. Interesting. Okay, now, as we continue on, let's see how well these people match up with me. Let's see. Ardianti of Indonesia wants to hear Joan Nar, Good Day by IU. I like that song. And Elif of Belgium requested No Sayongpop, The Manual by Eddie Kim. Also, love this song. We just heard Chonar by IU, requested by Ardianti, followed by No Sayongpop, The Manual by Eddie Kim, requested by Alif. And since we do have a little time left before the closing of our first hour, why don't I tell some stories, including, for those of you who are interested, stories about Eddie Kim. So, I liked Eddie way back when we debuted, I think that's when we were promoting 안녕하세요, Hello. He was promoting, I think, My Darling. And then, the first time we greeted him, actually, I mixed Eddie Hyung up with Eric by accident because, they both start with E, and then at the time I didn't really know a lot except, our own group. And so he comes in, is like, and says, we do like a CD exchange in the music broadcast system, who are you, BIG, and then we give them our CD, 잘 부탁드립니다, please take good care of us. And then he comes in, and he's like, and we exchanging CDs, like, I really like your music, man, it's awesome. And then he doesn't know who I am. I'm just like a member of our group, and I randomly just started talking to him in English, and he's like, 감사합니다. And that was my first awkward meeting with Eddie. But for real, Eddie is one of the chillest dudes I know, and he's an awesome musician. So check out his music. And to wrap up our first hour, we're going to check out the song Red Cassette by Mama's Gun, and be right back. What's up? You're listening to Music Access with me, Benji of BIG, and our first song starting off the second hour of our show for Saturday, September 12th was Best Day of My Life by the American Authors. I wonder what they wrote and why they're called the American Authors. Alright, so now here's how you can listen and participate. You can download the Audio Radio or TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone, and you can also send us messages through the app using the comment function. You can also listen to us by visiting our website, www.arirangradio.com/musicaccess, and leave your messages there on our message board. And another way you can tune in is through terrestrial DMB, but this is only available for our listeners living on Jeju Island. The frequencies are 88.7 for Jeju City, 88.1 for Seogwipo, and 101.9 for Daejeong. Now, before we come back to more messages, we're going to check out two more songs, and we're going to hear first Stitches by Shawn Mendes, followed by My Love by Corinne Bailey Rae. What's up? Good night. Or good morning, wherever you are. We just heard Stitches by Shawn Mendes, followed by My Love by Corinne Bailey Rae, and we're on our second hour of our show for Music Access. We're on the My Message part of our show, where we're checking out your messages and checking out some great music. So, continuing to take a look at our messages, our message first for our second hour comes from Vanessa from Canada saying, Hello, Benji. How are you feeling today? Are you feeling good? I hope you're having a relaxing afternoon. So today I went grocery shopping and came across these, how do you put it, ham cheese sauce and more cheese crepes. They were so good, and I had them with rice and Brussels sprouts. It was a yummy dinner, and I'm glad I tried those crepes. So, let's see, ham, so framboise, cheese fromage, sauce, bechamel, and more cheese, une, deux, trois fromage, crêpe. I have no idea what I just said, but I am assuming, for those of you who speak French, I said it correctly. Framboise et fromage. I'm sorry, guys, I don't speak French. But that sounds super, super yummy. Like crazy yummy. If I had a chance to get some crepes, y'all know that I would definitely get those crepes. And if you can, I'd recommend a combination of, the classic chocolate spread and fruit, or you could do chocolate spread and cheese. That's right, chocolate spread and cheese. Two things that I think to a certain extent go hand in hand very well, but not a lot of people really know about. So, if you want to try new things, there you go. Now, before we continue on, we're going to check out two songs. The first song is Goodnight Kiss by Chun Sung, followed by 오늘부터 1일 by K-Will. We just heard Goodnight Kiss by Chun Sung, followed by 오늘부터 1일 by K-Will. Oh, I heard the song, by the way. I heard him sing the song live, and it's crazy. He is an awesome, crazy singer. That's a good thing. Super awesome. Now let's move on to our next message. Comes from Jenny from the USA saying, Benji, I'm such a horrible person for not writing a message in such a long time. I used to always write messages, but it got to a point where work and life had been stressing me out. I still tune in every day, well, mostly every day when I don't work too late, and I hope you have been good and that your son is being good as well. So, I was wondering, when will BIG come tour the States? We would love to have you perform here sometime in the future. Let me think. I think BIG will perform in States in 2000 something. Obviously, there's going to be something there. But as it is now, we're still preparing. We release more music. If we go to the States, I want to put on at least, maybe 4 songs of our own songs, maybe 5 of our own songs. And if we're performing at a music festival, I'd like to have 2 good tracks, and then maybe, have a track that I've written or a track that I've produced on there. So, give it just a little bit of time. But of course, we'll get to the level of the States as soon as possible. It just takes a little bit of time to, assemble stuff, put stuff together. And then when we go there, I will definitely be the one to say, yo, everyone, music. And then people are going to be like, play, what are we supposed to say? And I'll be like, dude, it's Access. How do you not know Music Access? It's like, no, I get it. No, we were waiting for Muji. Where'd you Muji? Oh, he's in the washer because I had to wash him because he got kind of dirty. And then I'll be like, this story is getting too long and I don't know where it's going to end. So we're going to stop it now. Awesome. Okay, now, as we continue on, we're going to check out 2 more songs. The first song is not Miss, but Mr. by 소녀시대, followed by Can't Stop by CM Blue. We just heard Mr. by 소녀시대, followed by Can't Stop by CN Blue. Side note, I sang the song recently, and it's really hot. 하루에 눈만은 나를 잊어볼게요. Miss you. Can't stop me now. It's pretty hard, but it's really, really fun to sing. And I think Chung Young-hwa is an awesome music dude. Continuing on to more messages. Our next message comes from Natalie from Canada saying, I love it when you talk about music. You sound so intelligent and attractive. There's something I want to ask. How much American pop is played in Korea? Like if you were to turn on the radio, how much of it is English pop? Very little or half? Let's see, how do I put this? In Korean radio, there's probably a radio station that's dedicated to pop. And then, the most important thing is actually, I think it's going to be mostly K-pop because, there's a genre called trot. It's the kind of Korean traditional country music, or traditional kind of folk music kind of genre. Then there is, the old classic songs that they play a lot. There's ballads. There's a lot of different variety of genre. And then when it comes to, the pop market, what's big in Korea is, of course, the pop itself, a lot of house. So, wah, 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 you could be my new thing, boom, 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 like this kind of music is also pretty hot here. So, I'd say not a lot of it's pop because a lot of people request, Korean songs and they want songs that they can understand the lyrics to. But when a song blows up, you can hear it everywhere. Like, I remember you can walk down the street and you hear, I know I heard you crying. Ooh. And it's like, dude, okay, I've heard this song like so much. And it keeps going on, because when they get stuck on a song, we get stuck on a song. And you said I sound attractive and intelligent. You want to talk about music, so major chords, minor chords, dominant chords. Now, before we continue to move on, we're going to check out 2 more songs. We're going to check out first 사람 냄새 by Chungin and Gary, followed by 너를 사랑해 by 윤미래. We just heard 사람 냄새 by Chungin and Gary, followed by 너를 사랑해 by T. 윤미래. You hear that high note? Something like that. It sounded similar but different. Music. Alright, so continuing on, we're going to share 2 messages. First, Crimson Rose from the USA saying, 안녕 Benji, thanks for reading my message about the trip to Tennessee, and thank you for the sweet compliments you gave about Isabella. By the way, please call me Rose. 사랑해, adorable sweetie. I'm actually the manly dog of the whole, place, but if I was shizzle, I always tell sweet things. You know why? Because you're the only 10 I see. For those of you who don't know what I just said, that is what's called a pickup line. It starts by going up to someone and saying, are you from Tennessee? This only applies to someone if they know what Tennessee is, because it doesn't make sense if they don't know where it is. But are you from Tennessee? And you're like, what? Because you're the only 10 I see. And then there's like, dude, what are you doing? Get out of my face. And it's like, oh, my bad. But, no, of course, calling you Rose, darling. Thank you for tuning into radio. And, of course, I'm going to read your messages. Write in. And we share as many awesome messages as we can. And we have Darcy Ann from the USA saying, 안녕, Benji, you are grooving on. I had fun hearing the Royal Pirates See What I See song that you played, and it's also fun to have my Auntie Rose's song follow mine. We like when that happens, just like when I read your messages, and yours follows Rose's. I always think it's really interesting to see people listening to radio have this kind of unspoken, unintentional collaboration. I think that's super, super awesome. When you have, how do you put this? I'm reading your messages, I'm looking at your song request, and then it just so happens that, the people that know each other, collaborate with each other, or, they follow each other. And then y'all who are listening are like, oh, wow, it happened to work this way. And then we're just like, oh, of course, it's awesome, because that's the kind of relationship that we have with each other. As a DJ, just consider me either as your older brother or your little brother. It's a very comfortable relationship, and I think it's good to keep it that way. That's the kind of bond that I would want to have, just as a listener, as someone who's speaking on the mic, and I'm sure our guests definitely feel the same way as well. Alright, as we continue to move on, we're going to check out 2 songs, starting with Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke featuring Pharrell Williams and T.I., followed by Can't Remember to Forget by Shakira featuring Rihanna. But can you forget to remember me? We just heard Blurred Lines by Robin Thicke featuring Pharrell Williams and T.I., followed by Can't Remember to Forget by Shakira featuring Rihanna. Alright guys, thank you so much for tuning in and participating in our Saturday show and my text and message. Remember, if you want your stories to be read for this corner, here's what you need to do. You can tell me about the messages that made you laugh, smile, moved you. You can send in the message itself, or you can send in a message that you received, or the message that you sent. You can tell me about the situation and how you received or sent it. And remember, it can be a message on SNS as well. So remember to write my text on your title for that. And for all other super awesome deets about what you did this week, what you're doing now, and what your plans for the weekend are, go ahead and write them in on the title, My Message. Remember, if you want to participate, besides that, and just tune in, tell your friends to download the Arirang Radio or TuneIn Radio app, and visit our website, arirangradio.com/music access. Alright, so our last song for today is Stand By Me by Oasis. This was Benji of B.I.G., and as always, I'll be back.